Hey you guys, we're going to start on a series with a lot of these fun topics, quick videos on questions that we hear in real estate. So the first one we're going to tackle is what to do if the appraisal comes in lower than sales price. So two different categories to hit on this, and we'll hit both. You have the buyer side and the seller side. So if you're the buyer, there's really kind of four options that you have. Number one, you could ask for a second appraisal. This isn't always the best option. It is going to cost you more money, and you may come up with the same appraisal that you had on the first one, unless you know that the first appraisal really missed something drastic on the home. Number two, you can negotiate with the seller and ask them to come down to the appraisal price. In this market, that's probably the most acceptable or realistic type option. Number two, which I guess is just as realistic, is you might have to come up with more cash. If you really want this home, the home that you've made the offer on, and the seller doesn't want to meet you on that price, you may have to come up with that difference. So if you had $10,000 down initially, the house came in $10,000 under sales price, you might need to make up that extra $10,000. Now you're in $20,000, just as an example. Your last option as a buyer, walk away from the deal. As a seller, you kind of have three options that kind of fall in line with the buyer side. Number one is you could ask the buyer to come to the table with more cash. Again, in the market we're currently in, that may not happen. There's not as many buyers out there. There's not the competition it was maybe even 6 months ago. As a seller, for your second option, bring down your sales price and meet the appraisal price. That may be your best option, so your house doesn't go back out to market, sit on the market for more days, and maybe you need to move on to another home, and meeting them at that appraisal price might be the best option for you. Your third option is, just like the buyer, you walk away from the contract. So those are just really down and dirty, some of the options that you have if the appraisal comes in lower than sales price. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we will see you guys on the next one.